So good morning again, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to all our distinguished guests, eminent speakers, industry leaders, policymakers, delegates to the ICC Real Estate Summit 2026, themed Powering India's $5 Trillion Dream. I am Kunal Behrani, working as the Chief Operating Officer for Unity Group, and I'll be your MC for the day. It's seldom seen that all of us come together. This is a really, great opportunity, I would say, that we've got some really eminent policymakers with us. We've got some really great developers with us, and we'll be, obviously joining all of them on the stage. So India's real estate sector stands as a cornerstone of the national economy, making a substantial contribution to GDP, employment, and urban transformation. Anchored by rapid urbanization, favorable demographics, and rising income levels, the sector spans residential, commercial, retail, and industrial segments, each reinforcing economics momentum. Structural reforms such as RERA and industrial segments, each reinforcing economic momentum. Structural reforms such as RERA, PMAY, and the advent of REITs have significantly improved transparency, governance, and investor confidence while attracting long-term institutional capital. From an industry leadership perspective, the sector has entered a decisive phase of maturity, marked by disciplined execution, customer centricity, technology adoption, and a strong emphasis on sustainability. Supported by large-scale infrastructure development and expanding urban ecosystems, Indian real estate is steadily transitioning from volume-driven growth to a value-led, resilient, and future-ready industry with compelling long-term perspectives. The ICC Real Estate Summit 2026 is a timely initiative by the Indian Chamber of Commerce. Just to give you a small insight into the Indian Chamber of Commerce, we are more than 100 years old, and we just celebrated our centenary celebrations last month. So they bring together the entire real estate ecosystem on a single platform. The summit, themed Powering India's $5 Trillion Dream, serves as a strategic platform for dialogue, collaboration, and insight sharing amongst policymakers, industry leaders, developers, investors, financiers, regulatory authorities, innovators, and other key stakeholders in the real estate sector. This one-day summit aims to address the evolving landscape of India's property market, spotlighting opportunities and challenges across residential, commercial, industrial, and alternative asset classes. Just a thought. I was going through the entire agenda, and when we saw the entire agenda, it's seldom so it happens that we touch upon all the sectors, whether it's residential, commercial, retail, warehousing. We touch upon the finance, aspect of the business, and we also touch the newest, kid on the block, which is the digital marketing or the AI or the marketing segments these days. So, either one of these conferences, which happen day in, day out for all of us, happen on just one topic or maybe a couple of them. Nobody is able to touch all these topics in a single day. So I'm sure people who are there for the entire day with us would take a lot more back with them, learning about each of these, aspects of the business. So the one-day summit aims to address the evolving landscape of India's property market, spotlighting opportunities and challenges across residential, commercial, industrial, and alternative asset classes. Sessions and discussions focus on regulatory developments, sustainable and inclusive development models, investment trends, prop tech adoption, affordable housing solutions, and future market outlooks that will shape growth trajectories through 2026 and beyond. By fostering meaningful conversations and partnerships, the ICC Real Estate Summit 2026 is designed to accelerate sectoral transformation, enhance investor confidence, and contribute to the nation's broader economic objectives. Well, just to give you a small brief into the entire thing again, we've got obviously, ICC, which is doing this entire thing. We also have NAREP, who has supported the entire initiative by, doing a lot more than just getting people together. NAREP is Nationwide Association of Real Estate Professionals. I'm a part of it. I'm also on the advisory council for NAREP. We've got Dr. Kunal Banerjee, who is, also part of it. We've got Mr. Vipin Arora, who's there with us, who's the founder member for NAREP again, and one of the bodies which is getting all the real estate professionals together today. Well, talking about the other element as well, we've also got NAREDCO. Now, NAREDCO as a platform is something which is, where we are working very extensively throughout the entire real estate sector on the entire thing. And NAREDCO is National Real Estate Development Council. It's a body which is formed in 1998 and under the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. I also work with NAREDCO as their honorary secretary for the Delhi wing. So just to give you, a thought, and now to begin the entire thing, I request, we'll have the lamp lighting ceremony now. So may I request our esteemed dignitaries to kindly come forward for the lighting of the holy lamp, symbolizing knowledge, wisdom, and collective pursuit of progress. Can I have a round of applause for all the dignitaries, please? Can I have Shri Sanjay R. Bhusreddy, please? Join us, sir. Dr. Kunal Banerjee, Mr. Amarjeet Bakshi, Mr. Anuj Puri, Mr. Dheeraj Puri, Mr. Debmalya Banerjee, Mr. B.K. Malagi, Ms. Yukti Nagpal, if she's there, Mr. Amok Bansal, Ms. Megha Agarwal, Mr. Hardeep Sachdeva, and Ms. Rupin Arora, please. Can I have a round of applause, please?
Shubham Gurutvam Kalyanam Arogyam Dhanasampada Shubham Gurutvam Kalyanam Arogyam Dhanasampada Shubham Gurutvam Kalyanam Arogyam Dhanasampada Shatru Buddhi Vinashaya Deepajyotir Namostute Deepajyotir Namostute Shubham Gurutvam Kalyanam Arogyam Dhanasampada Shubham Gurutvam Kalyanam.
This lamp lighting ceremony symbolizes knowledge, wisdom, and the collective pursuit of progress. So, I would like to thank all the esteemed dignitaries. May this light guide today's discussion towards clarity, innovation, and responsive growth. So, it's my privilege today to humbly invite our esteemed chief guest, Sri Sanjay R. Bhusreddy, who is the IAS Chairman, Uttar Pradesh Real Estate Regulatory Authority. Can I have a round of applause, please? Yeah. To kindly join us on the dais, please, sir. Now I would like to request Mr. Anuj Puri, Chairman and Founder of ANAROC, to please take his seat with us on the dais. Mr. Puri. I'm sure all of us know Mr. Puri from our days of learning real estate and all the numbers that he gets into it. I haven't known anybody who knows numbers better than him. Okay. Can I now request Mr. Amarjeet Bakshi, Managing Director, Central Park, to join us on the dais, please, sir. इसमें थोड़ी तालियां मुझे ज़्यादा चाहिए. I'm meeting Mr. Bakshi for the first time, although I've heard a lot about him. Yeah. So can we have one more round of applause for him, please? Thank you. And finally, can I request Dr. Kunal Banerjee? He's MCAM UK and mentor for NAREP, to kindly join us on the stage, please, sir. Now, Dr. Kunal Banerjee also happens to be an institution in himself. When it comes to marketing, I haven't known anybody who knows marketing better than him. Okay. When it comes to real estate marketing, nothing beats him. Nothing, I would say supersedes him. So thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us, sir. Okay, can I now invite Mr. Dheeraj Puri, Co-Chair, Northern Region, Indian Chamber of Commerce, to deliver the welcome address and set the context for today's deliberations, please.
Good morning. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the Real Estate Summit 2026, organized by the Indian Chamber of Commerce. a century-old institution that has consistently played a pivotal role in shaping India's business and economic landscape. Your presence here today reflects the collective commitments of stakeholders to deliberate, collaborate, and drive the future of India's real estate sector. The real estate industry is a vital pillar of the Indian economy, making a significant contribution to the GDP, the employment creation, and capital formation, with strong multiplier effect across construction, infrastructure, manufacturing, finance, and services. The real estate sector plays a central role in the economic activity spanning housing, commercial developments, logistical parks, and urban infrastructure. Real estate remains fundamental to India's urbanization journey and overall economic transformation. As India moves towards becoming a USD 5 trillion economy, the real estate will continue to play a massive role in shaping inclusive growth, sustainable cities, and a resilient infrastructure. This summit serves as an important platform to exchange ideas, share best practices, and explore opportunities that will define the next phase of the growth for the real estate sector. The summit will include a series of insightful sessions thoughtfully designed to help delegates understand the evolution of real estate in Tier 2, 3, and 4 cities and adapt to emerging opportunities and challenges. Noteworthy sessions will feature discussions on sustainable and inclusive urban development, the integration of technology and innovation across housing and commercial real estate, the role of government support and regulatory frameworks in strengthening investor confidence. On behalf of the Indian Chamber of Commerce, I extend a very warm welcome to all our speakers, delegates, partners, and stakeholders. I am confident that today's discussions will be insightful, forward-looking, and instrumental in strengthening the real estate ecosystem in India. I wish the summit a great success and look forward to a day of meaningful dialogue and collaboration. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Puri, for outlining the vision and relevance of this summit. The entire day would be a really good, element. So, sorry, I did not name Mr. Deb Malya Banerjee, who's the Regional Director for Indian Chamber of Commerce. So please welcome as well, please. Okay, now we have a special address, which is being done by Dr. Kunal Banerjee, and he'll be sharing his perspectives on the evolving real estate and real estate sector and the professional ecosystem. So, Dr. Banerjee, please, sir. Can I now request you to please share your thoughts, sir, for a couple of minutes?
Thank you, Kunal. Good morning, good morning, and good morning. Honorable members of the dais, members of Indian Chamber of Commerce, members of the Government of India, most welcome, sir. Esteemed colleagues in the real estate world, financial world, policymakers, and NAREP members, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you this morning. It's wonderful to be here, but I want to start with something a little alarming, breaking news. I don't want to sound like Arnab Goswami, but there is breaking news this morning. Real estate in Delhi NCR is silent at the moment. Why? Because all the luminaries and stars are right here in this hall. It is wonderful to get such luminaries and such stars and stalwarts in one room, and must congratulate Indian Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Deb Malya Banerjee, and his wonderful team, Muskan Verma, in gathering such luminaries this morning here. I would also like to congratulate Mr. Vipin Arora for taking a bold step in formulating the Nationwide Association of Real Estate Professionals for the first time in India. Very well done, Vipin. Excellent. And yes, no, it is not a union of real estate professionals, so don't worry. The developers should not be worried. Having spent several decades in real estate, I'm quite an old veteran in this ecosystem. And I have had the pleasure of advising and being with some of the stalwarts of our industry, whether it's Ansel, Zomax, M3M, and more recently, the great Central Park Estates, TARC, and now BST. You know, I used to feel a little diffident whenever I went abroad, went to New York or London or Dubai, and I used to look at the infrastructure and the buildings there. And I used to wonder, will our country ever be able to catch up and have such terrific office spaces, lovely residences, and retail spaces? Will we ever catch up? And I'm talking about years ago. I'm proud to say today, not only have we caught up because of the people like you and the people in this dais, we have surpassed in many ways. So congratulations to everyone here. I think that you have a lot to do with what's happened to the country today. Yes, real estate is going to be a US $1 trillion market. But we should not be too enthusiastic. You know, China is 5 million already, 5 trillion already. So we have some way to go, although we should pat ourselves in the back for 2030, trying to achieve $1 trillion US. The confidence demonstrated in us is very evident, and I will give you some proof. FIIs have a 63% shareholding of our market. 63%. So that shows the confidence in our RERA system, our government bodies, that they are able to invest and be part of our real estate industry, the tune of 63%. But you know, you may ask why. Why are the global pension funds, sovereign funds, why are they coming to India? Why do they trust us, sir? And I think, Mr. Reddy, we should congratulate you. It's because of institutions like RERA that they are here and they are applauding us. And a round of applause to the government for this. Not only this, the government has allowed REITs into FIIs, which means they can be listed on the stock exchange, which also gives you an exit path which was not there. Aisa nahi hai ki you put in the money and it's stuck forever. That's not the case anymore. There's an exit path to it. It's like an investment. So big investors like the Sovereign Gold Fund and pension funds, they can come here, and they are coming. Another very good news I must share with you, that the SM REITs are allowing people, domestic retail investors, to invest as low as 10 lakhs into a REIT of 50 to 500 crores. So this is a very inclusive and wonderful piece of news by the government of India. Interest rates, most of the developers will be happy to note, is normalizing below 10%, 8.3 to 9.5, which is again music to many developers' ears. The market will grow. But there are two big points, and I don't want to make it a long speech because you have a long day. I'll try to keep short. But two very important takeaways I'd like to share with you. One is green tech revolution in real estate. Now many of you may say this is lip service. Sab log bolta hai, green tech, green tech. But you know, here's a fact. I believe in quoting facts. Do you know that 56% in fact, of office stock of Fortune 500 companies insist on green technology before they even become your tenants? Can you imagine that? Now these are facts. I'm not making it up. Donald Trump may say that you green tech kuch nahi hai, but in India we believe in green tech and we are succeeding. And the big elephant in the room, and today you will hear a lot more from experts, the big elephant, something that 90% of real estate buyers are depending on. What is that? Prop tech. Digital technology. 90%. All our developers, all the government machinery will have to change. They will have to dream digital. They will have to concentrate on digital, whether it's sales, marketing, development, design, everything, even HR. Everything will go from the internet. We will have to use digital. And out of that, 78% are using their phone. So the entire digital world will be on a small thing there, and you'll be buying, selling, marketing, all your products throughout the world. Prop tech is going to be the most important thing in the real estate world. And today's seminars, you will learn a lot from experts much cleverer than me. Having said that, all is not hunky-dory. There are a lot of challenges, and we have stalwarts who are going to address these challenges, like Mr. Bakshi here and Mr. Gaur. We have to look at social inclusion. No country can go ahead with only luxury. And luxury has come to mean many other things like health, like safety, like fresh air, especially us in Delhi NCR. We know what that luxury is. We will have to have that, social inclusion. We will have to look at retail investors who can get into the market. They don't have to be in the stock exchange only. Fractional investment models from the financial policy makers who are sitting here. We will be very glad to know how the common man can participate in the real estate industry through fractional investment models. So even one plot of land can be divided by 10. It's a new innovative way of looking at it, but gentlemen and ladies will have to do that. And of course, the speed of infrastructure. Our colleagues and friends in the government have to spend a lot of time in infrastructure and make sure that our roads, our subways, and our systems are working well, and we don't get flooded over every monsoon as we nowadays do. That is important. And of course, smoother bureaucratic channels and procedures that will make it so much faster and so much easier. Imagine if we can digitize all records, all transactions, everything done like in some of the other Western countries. Can we not be better? Because our digital guys are the cleverest. After all, they're hiring all our brains, even in Silicon Valley. So why can't we have them do it right here and become the top digital real estate nation in the world? It's a dream, but people here in this dais will make sure that it happens. It is now a great pleasure of mine, and I must say, I have to be a bit personal here. It is such an honor that the person who will speak now is not only a mentor, he is a most admired person in the real estate business. He is an IITian, and he is one of the cleverest persons I know, and a great human being. I know that Mr. Behrani will introduce him very well, but I myself am humbled and so proud that I have known, and I continue to know, Mr. Amarjeet Bakshi. A round of applause for him, please. Thank you, Kunal. I promised to keep it short, and I did. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. We touched upon a couple of points out here, which I will just like to replicate once, and then I'll go to the next segment. So, sir spoke about, digital transformation, which is going to happen. So one of the best things which would happen is, digital twins, of course. So some of you are related to construction would understand this better. So it's a replica of your building, which is done even before the first brick is put on the site. So most of us are using this kind of technology today, and, to be proud of it. Of course, the future holds a lot more, in this with us. So, not taking much of your time, I would now like to, give you an introduction. Person who actually does not need any introduction in this room or otherwise for that matter. So, Mr. Amarjeet Bakshi, who is the Managing Director for Central Park. Distinguished first-generation entrepreneur and industrialist, founded the Bakshi Group of Enterprises in 1983. With over 56 years of experience, he has led the group to global prominence, spanning diverse sectors such as real estate, hospitality, and automobiles, infrastructure. His commitment to excellence and strategic growth has set world-class benchmarks across industries and geographies. Mr. Amarjeet Bakshi's entrepreneurial journey is marked by innovation, strategic growth, and a profound commitment to societal welfare. His multifaceted contributions across industries and communities underscore his legacy as a visionary leader and catalyst for positive change. Can I now have a huge round of applause for him, please? And sir, please share your thoughts with us, sir. Sir.
Good morning. I thank Indian Chamber of Commerce for giving me this opportunity to stand in front of you as a keynote speaker for this session. I also thank the senior bureaucrats and acclaimed colleagues in the industry. It's a very august gathering, and it's a privilege to stand in front of you and speak. I'll not take a lot of your time, and please forgive me if I go wrong because I don't write speeches. I just go extempore. I start like this: why real estate matters. Real estate matters for a very simple reason, that it contributes the maximum to GDP. I'll just stop at that. I'll not take more of your time. It really matters. Number two is, it began way back with the shelters. Then it developed into roofs, walls, and as the time went on, it became RCC structure, bigger places, bigger rooms, bigger spaces, and later on it became aspirational, and it also became a sign of luxury and a status symbol as the time progressed. India is one country where you see from the very beginning where it happened to a simple jhopdi or a mud house, all the way up to Rashtrapati Bhavan. The great palaces of the world also exist here. These are all part of the real estate. I move around the villages and I see a gradual change. The kacha houses are very rarely visible anymore. They are moving to pakka houses, RCC structures, and so on. The growth is moving. The whole ecosystem is traveling towards the small towns to bigger towns, to the cities, to the mega cities, and so on. This all gives rise to real estate. Real estate also becomes a status symbol, aspirational. I would look at real estate as a nation-building exercise. Whoever is connected with real estate could be a builder, a contractor, a designer, an architect, a financier, a bureaucrat. If you look at it, whatever is his contribution, however big it may be, small it may be, or even minuscule, if you look at it closely, it is an exercise toward building the nation. So whoever is connected with it, I'll request that please don't forget this aspect, that you are devoting your life to build the nation. Do it well, because somewhere your sign is going to remain. Your contribution is going to be remembered in one form or another. In this case, one may not appreciate that quality definitely gives you better returns than quantity. Quantity may give you a little more, a better balance sheet, but it is a quality which gives you satisfaction, distinction, honor, trust, and many more things which help you to sleep better at night. Ultimately, that is the objective. A आखिर में ताकि हंसते हुए निकलें दम, there also anybody who has accomplished quality, he definitely feels better at the time of departure from this planet. I look at real estate standing on three pillars. The first pillar I say is the customer, which I compare it akin to God. Not as a slogan, but in principle. He comes forth to bring his hard-earned life-saving and also promises you to borrow more and it handed over to the second pillar, which I call as a builder, real estate, or the trustee. In my words, trustee is the right word for the builder. He sells dreams and he sells trust. And he sells to whom? He may look at him in whatever form he likes, but he will never fail in life if he looks at him akin to God, because he is the only person who brings money to him. Everybody else takes money from him. If you serve him truthfully, honestly, and sincerely, he will never let you down. He may be rough in talking, he may sound very different, but fact is that if you see your God in him, you are all set for a great success. You're all set. The third pillar I look is your financer. The financer is the one who provides finance to make this journey happen. Without him, the travel becomes longer, slow, and the growth will be very poor. The expectations of the financer are very nominal. He expects that whatever you borrow should be returned. And if you are not able to return on time, he is prepared to sit with you across the table and find a solution. But what he cannot accept is that when his trust is lost, and where does trust gets lost, is when you divert the funds for which you have borrowed the money is diverted elsewhere. If this happens, then the fracture in the organization begins. Some may think that they can repair, and if it is a bigger fracture, it may be irreparable. I always compare real estate and other businesses differently. I will always say that all other businesses like a car travel. You go on the road at a high speed, middle speed or whatever speed. If the fuel finishes, pull it aside, replenish the fuel and get going. If the tire becomes flat, replace it, and the inconvenience is behind you, and you move on. I compare real estate to airplane journey. Here, if the fuel finishes, there is no option but to crash. And that's what happens to the companies when the fuel finishes. And if the engine fails, only a miracle can save. One has to be very sensitive while running the company. There is a lot of responsibility in your hands. You are a great trustee. Many people are depending on you. I'll move an inch forward. That when people like me who have done several businesses in life, they move to the real estate, of course the journey becomes very exciting. Speed is more, returns are more. The person sitting in the cockpit piloting the company gets very motivated. He wants to press the throttle, cut the corners, bend the rules, forgets the implications of violation. That is the time the problem begins. People sitting in the cockpit, they become ambitious, and sometimes they do wrong things. When it happens, the result is inevitable, and we see major crashes happening in the real estate. So I am nobody to guide anybody, but I would like to compare and bring it to the notice, because very, very well-known developers are all either listening or may like to share this thought that they are holding a very responsible position and they are flying a plane, not driving a car. An ambition, an uncontrolled ambition can be very dangerous. I'll not go beyond this. I'll move on. The core message is that it is not a simple profession. It is a very serious responsibility delegated by God Almighty, your circumstances onto you. Do it diligently, sincerely, well. Your customer with whom you are sincere will never let you down. He will always see you in the business. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for this beautiful insight, sir. I must say that, मैंने दो तीन चीज़ें जो इसमें सुनी, this is really fantastic to hear. 3 pillars, as you said. One of the best things which I've ever heard in my real estate journey. It's been 15 years that I've been working in the real estate sector. Financer आपका सबसे ज़्यादा important है. No doubt in that, and you're sitting on a plane, which is a different ball game altogether. So इसमें हमारी बहुत सारी लोग मदद करते हैं. जो आपका फाइनेंसर है वो बहुत सारी रिपोर्ट्स देखता है, बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस देखता है, और बहुत सारी उसे कुछ डेटा चाहिए होता है, कुछ उसको अदरवाइज चाहिए होता है टू अंडरस्टैंड कि नेक्स्ट स्टेप किस तरीके से लेना है और कितना टाइम क्या क्या मार्केट चलेगी. The next segment, of course, relates to somebody who's really proficient with his numbers. So I would like to, introduce him, Mr. Anuj Puri, who's the chairman and founder for Anirok. Mr. Anuj Puri is the chairman and founder for Anirok with over 30 years of experience in the Indian and global real estate market. He is a trusted advisor to developers, occupiers, and investors. So before Anirok, Anuj was chairman and country head of JLL India, overseeing a team of over 9,000 employees across 11 cities. In 2017, he set up Anirok, the leading independent real estate services company with a presence in India and the Middle East. The company has diversified interests across the real estate life cycle and deploys its proprietary technology platform to accelerate marketing and sales on behalf of its clients. Under his leadership, Anirok has expanded its services to include residential broking and technology, retail, commercial, investment banking, and hospitality. This is, of course, the bio which is there on the internet. I don't need to say something about this, but मैं कुछ otherwise कहना चाहूँगा अनुज जी के बारे में. I've known him from the last 15 years. I've read his reports. I've understood my real estate journey thanks to him being, so proficient with his numbers. एक एक number, एक एक city को define करना, हर चीज़ को define ड्राइंग करना, ट्रेंड्स को पकड़ना। रियल एस्टेट में सबसे ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है किसी भी ट्रेंड को पकड़ना कि कौन सी सिटी कल को अच्छी बनेगी, कौन सा उसका सबब ज़्यादा अच्छा जाएगा, क्या न्यू गुड़गांव में इन्वेस्ट करें, क्या एक्सटेंशन रोड पे जाएं, नोएडा में कहाँ जाएं, येडा में जाएं, कहाँ जाएं, and so forth. So we always look up to him and would now like to welcome him to come and share his thoughts about the entire thing with us, please. Sir, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and a very good morning to all of you. Delight to be here. I must thank ICC, for holding this entire conference. It's an absolute delight. I also appreciate the theme that is there is, how can the Indian real estate power the $5 trillion economy going up to $7 trillion? How can we move as a contributor of real estate from 7%, which we are currently contributing, to about 15%, and that's how we're going to be $1 trillion contribution that we're going to give to the economy. It's also an honor to be on this dais. We have several dignitaries here, several accomplished people. So thanks for giving me this opportunity. I'll just take 2 minutes, just talking a little bit about the economy because real estate piggybacks the economy. If the economy goes down, we go down. If the economy goes up, we go up. Given where we were in the 19th century, at that time it used to be really the Great Britain, which was doing exceptionally well. It was largely because of the manufacturing. They were doing a phenomenal job. 20th century came in the US and they were doing a phenomenal job because it was all about consumerism. It was all about money, financial, banking, and that's where they did it. 21st century clearly is belonging to India. I mean, you can see the world across, there is so much of turmoil, and we seem to be someone, touch wood, doing exceptionally well at this moment in time. I do recall 2013 going to the US, and I haven't said this to a lot of people, but I'll say is I met up with one of the largest private equity funds who are now operating in India. And, I'd met up with their chief investment officer in New York in his cabin. And, I said, sir, what about India? When can we see more of your dollars getting invested into India? He had this computer screen at that time, and he had a yellow Post-it on it. So he turned that screen towards me, and the yellow Post-it had India, INDIA. I will never do it again. That is what the thought was, and he went on and on and on. And at that time, I wished that there were politicians sitting next to me to hear what was the world saying about us and about the Indian economy. And from there to where we are, it's a great reprieve to have. Gone through such a difficult time where we were experiencing real time all these challenges, and that's when you were seeing the investments going back. And today, look at the amount of investment that is coming in, and it's not only just the economy; it's also the youth. If you look at it, India, the population that we have, nearly 65% of the population is younger than 30-year-old. If you look at the infrastructure that is taking place today, I think many of the great nations are not investing as much as what we are investing, whether it's airports, sir, you mentioned about it, whether it's the railway station, whether it's the road network, and all this is related to real estate. That is where we guys benefit from. The biggest one, to my mind, on the real estate that is having a benefit on the offices, and I'll give you the numbers as we go forward, is the talent. We service a lot of the multinational corporations today, and when you go and meet up with them, the global capability centers, they are no longer coming to India for cost arbitrage. Those were the days, in the mid-90s when we were servicing these multinationals, the Genpacts of the world, and all these guys, the GEs who came in the mid-90s, they were all coming for cost arbitrage. That it is a lot more cheaper today to, lot more cheaper to outsource to India. Today, when you meet up with these global capability centers, they're saying, we're not coming for cost arbitrage, we're coming for talent. We are not able to find this quantity and quality of talent, quantity as well. So, in the US, if on the West Coast, you need like 1,000 techies to be recruited in 2 months, unlikely you're going to be able to find it. Even if you pay as much money as you want, unlikely you'll find in 2 months 1,000 techies coming in. I mean, look at it here. In India, our ability to be able to recruit so many STEM students. In fact, there is a data point which says that the highest number of STEM is the science, technology, math students are coming out of India. And that is where this talent is. I mean, we work for a large car manufacturer, which is European based, and they have a car design center, Malana, in your city, Bangalore. And you go to them, they have 2,800 automobile engineers. All new car designs are happening in India. They're not happening in Europe. All new car designs of that car manufacturer are happening in India, and that is what they're coming in. I mean, a lot of our clients, they're recruiting doctors, thousands of doctors that are being recruited because R&D is what is required. And that leads me to the first point on the real estate is that since independence, since 1947, first time in India, we have seen the highest number of office leasing. 8 crore square feet of gross leasing that happened in 2025. 8 crore offices got leased. I mean, that's insane number. Before COVID, we were more like 4.2, 4.3, 3.9, 4.5 million square feet. That is what it is. This year, 2025 calendar year, 80 million square feet gone through. That is like crazy. Never ever seen this kind of thing. And by the way, office is a bad word in the West. If you were to speak about doing offices in the US, they'll be like, you're crazy or what? Nobody's coming to the offices there. And look at it here, 80 million square feet of gross leasing, largely led by the global capability centers that happened in India. And a lot of it has gone into Bangalore. They have really benefited. Hyderabad has benefited. Pune has benefited because that is where there is real estate available at a lot more reasonable pricing. The second one that has benefited is the retail. Because there are so many people that are getting employed, they're going to go out and they're going to spend the money. So they are going into these malls. Again, it's a bad word in more mature economies. Because like, what are you talking about? It is all going to be about e-commerce. It's all about digital. Who goes into the malls here? We have single-digit vacancy in our malls. Single-digit vacancy in our malls. That's how good the malls are doing. Again, a lot of people think is, oh, the online is going to kill the physical retail. But it is contrary that is happening is online guys are wanting physical spaces. We have so much demand coming in from digital companies because they're saying is we cannot only be digital because the amount of money that we are spending on Google and others advertising, it's a lot more cheaper to have a physical store. So it is phygital that is becoming in. So, exceptionally well. Again, it is a myth that the retail industry on the physical is going to die. I mean, look at these malls in Gurgaon, Gaurav. Look at, crazy to enter any of these malls is in the evening. And that's what the data is, that it is less than 6% vacancy in malls. The third one that has done very well is the warehousing and logistics. That is backed by not only just the e-commerce, the warehousing requirement, but by Make in India. So China plus one is what most of the European and American corporations are asking for. They're not saying is we are going to shut down China. They're saying is that the next factory that we're going to put it in is somewhere outside China. And it's not necessarily India. They're saying China plus one. Could be Indonesia, could be Vietnam, could be sort of Malaysia. India is also there. And we are benefiting by that. So nearly 37 million square feet of new industrial and warehousing spaces were leased in the calendar year 2025. So again, that was a record year. All that I have covered between these three sectors is 18% of the Indian real estate. 82% is residential. A lot of people ask us is that, what is the contribution that the resi makes? 82% of Indian real estate, which by the way was not the case way back in 2009. It used to be nearly 50-50. And it has now tilted hugely in favor of the residential. I'll give you just summing up on the residential now data points. You mentioned about data, so I'm giving you these data facts. In 2025, again, not many people know. A lot of people ask us, कि कितना माल बिकता है? How much new home sales are done in a year? I'll give you that figure today. Is 6 lakh crores. 6 lakh crore of new home sales. We don't even track the second home. We track it from RERA sites. What is the new home sales? That is done, it's 6 lakh crore. Nearly 550,000 homes were sold in this 6 lakh crore. So on an average, it's just above a crore rupee a unit. By the way, you mentioned about China. So we think is that, we are like on 150 miles an hour running on the residential and the market is overheated. Maybe in some regions it is overheated, but I'll give you a comparison. And again, China may be a wrong figure because they're also overheated and we are seeing the property bubble in China. But just as a comparison, when we are saying is that we are at 550,000 units that were sold, they were at 10 million units last year. Sold 10 million. So it's 1 crore versus 5.5 lakh. So, a lot of the press continues to ask me, oh, it's an overheated market. When are you going to go down? It is a bubble. I'm like, boss, we're not as rich as China, but we're as populous. And it can't be that much difference between 5.5 lakh units and 1 crore units that are being sold in China. Out of the 5.5 lakh units that were sold, nearly 58% was MMR and NCR. So nearly half, more than half of India was actually just these two cities. It's also because of the value that these two are very, very expensive. What was a big surpriser to me, and a head of research is sitting in here who puts all this data, is that NCR was the highest value gainer. So the maximum property appreciation happened in NCR. Now, I'm not sure whether it's good or bad because also you should not be having this kind of property price increase, which was 23% year on year. I mean, that is like crazy, 23% property increase on an average in NCR. Unfortunately, and this is a sad statement that I'm going to make. Unfortunately, affordable housing just continues to go down and down and down. This year, also it went down from, it used to be pre-COVID, it was 34%. Up to 2024, it came down to 17%. 2025, it has gone down to 14%. And when you meet up with the developers, they are saying is, how do we do affordable housing? The land values are so expensive that it just doesn't make any sense for us to be able to do affordable housing. So I do feel is that there is some intervention required, because from 34% pre-COVID, we're down to now 14% of the total, the supply that is coming up is in the affordable category. What is interesting, and you'll see more and more in NCR, is that the good quality developers are really increasing their market share, which means they are having somebody else's lunch. It used to be pre-COVID, it used to be 14%, 2025. The listed and the good quality unlisted guys were 33%, 1/3 of the market. We believe is that this will go up to about 60%. And in NCR, it is pronounced. I mean, this morning we took a review from our Noida and Ghaziabad team. Earlier this morning I came in to understand, and it is clear is, Mr. Gaur, you are selling. Not everybody else is selling in that market. Is, Prestige is selling or Godrej is selling, but it is very difficult for tier 2 developers to really, sell. And it is, the consumer has become really discerning and saying is, I'm not going to be lured by discounts. I want good quality, reputed, who are going to deliver. That is where I am really going. So that has moved to 33%, and I do feel is that will get up to about 60%. The decision buying time today has got compressed to 29 days. which is interesting from the first time to on an average where the buyer is buying is 29 days. I mean, I have a lot of data, but in interest of time, I'll just end by one or two more data. The latest buying cohort, the age was decreasing. And many of you would recall is that it used to be 50 plus, it was decreasing. It had come down to 31 to 34 years. It has now gone up to 36 to 40 years. Interesting. That I would have thought is that it would be continued to, it'll go down, but it has gone up the other way. And clearly we're seeing is that there is a fair amount of digitization that is playing a big role. And sir, you mentioned about the PropTech as well, is that there is a fair amount of digitization on the discovery of the buyer. That is going on. Pre-COVID, it used to be 23% of the marketing spend used to be on digital. It is 72% now. That there is the discovery of the home buyer is coming through digital. So in a summary, great time where we are. So office is doing very well, retail done well, warehousing, industrial doing well. The residential market doesn't seem to be overheated. Maybe there are micro markets that are overheated, but overall at an India level, we're in pretty safe hands. Thank you.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you for this valuable insight, sir. मैं इतना कहना चाहता हूँ कि when it comes to the numbers, ऐसे मैंने पहले भी कहा था, इनसे अच्छा कोई नहीं जानता. चाहे रिटेल की बात करें, ऑफिसेस की बात करें, रेजी की बात करें, वेयरहाउसिंग की बात करें. Across sectors, it's surprising to see how much knowledge he has on all these elements. चाहे retail की बात करें, he's involved in that. He's offices की बात करें, once again involved in that. Resi की बात करें, one of the biggest sectors. I work in the Resi sector, and I work in fact all these sectors. But जितना आपसे सीखा है, sir. So round of applause for him, please. With this, we would also like to now release the ICC ANAROC Knowledge Report titled Indian Residential Real Estate, a Review and Road Ahead, sir. So would you like to present this report, sir, please, sir? Please, sir. Mr. Bakshi, please. एक बार तालियां बजनी चाहिए. इस रिपोर्ट को बनाने में बहुत ज़्यादा मेहनत लगती है और बहुत ज़्यादा डेटा लगता है, बहुत ज़्यादा साइंस लगती है. उससे कहीं ज़्यादा आई वुड से एक एक्यूमेन लगता है उसको बनाने के लिए. सो आई डोंट नो हु इज द हेड ऑफ रिसर्च आउट हियर. कैन वी या ही इज देयर, सर.
Thank you.
Okay, now it is my privilege to invite Shri Sanjay R. Bhusreddy, IAS Chairman, Uttar Pradesh RERA, to deliver the chief guest address. So, उससे पहले मैं कुछ सर के बारे में बताना चाहूँगा. Sir, please join me on the stage, sir. आ जाइए, sir. Please come, sir. Please come. Please come here, sir. Please come. So, Mr. Bhusreddy is a distinguished retired IAS officer of the 1989 batch, known for his impeccable service record and extensive experience in public administration. After a notable career in the government of Uttar Pradesh, including leadership roles such as the additional chief secretary, he was appointed as the chairman of UP RERA, where he leads the regulatory framework for one of the country's most dynamic real estate markets. Under his stewardship, UP RERA has strengthened accountability and compliance in the sector, enhancing consumer confidence and ensuring timely resolution of home buyer grievances. His proactive approach has resulted in significant recoveries for home buyers and strategic approvals of real estate projects across the state. Sir, all yours, sir. Can we have a round of applause?
Thank you. Thank you very much. I should thank ICC, Indian Chamber of Commerce, for pulling me out in such cold weather from Lucknow and to bring me here at 10 o'clock. Muskan has been since last 2 months behind me. You will have to come, sir. because generally daily conferences I avoid. I join through VC because post-COVID we have the technologies. In the beginning, I do appreciate all the honorable guests on the dais and our monks from the ISKCON, with whom I had relations since 1990. I had explained to them. Friends, a lot of statistics has been spoken up by the experts, so I need not go into that. But I would say a few things. One, that housing, as all of us know, is a basic need, and Mr. Bakshi was saying that now we don't see kacha houses even in rural areas or semi-rural, semi-urban areas. We see pakka houses. So everybody is wanting for it, and our understanding, my understanding, and UP RERA's understanding is that the next 2 decades is of the real estate sector, especially in accelerating the GDP, whether it is national GDP or state GDP. Let me tell you that Government of India has determined to take the economy to 5 trillion, which is today's theme. And our Honorable CM has taken the vow to ensure that UP goes and jumps to 1 trillion economy very soon. And we are all working for that, and you must be hearing what all public discourse we are doing. We are seeking from the crowd the suggestions on how and where public policy should be tweaked. Let me tell you that the real estate growth sector has contributed roughly to 7.5 to 8% of the national GDP during the year 24-25. But in the state GDP, it has gone from 13 to 15, roughly between 13 to 15%, and it will go on to this by 2030, and maybe it would be around 15.5 to 16%. And that's how we are trying to do. The state share of real estate GDP in the state of Uttar Pradesh is comparatively more pronounced than the national GDP. We are at 13%. The national GDP is around 7.5 to 8%. UP's is around 13%. So this year has been fundamentally very good, and there has been an increase by 53% growth in the real estate sector in UP. I would like to share some statistics with all of you because that would be very interesting, though my friend had spoken about, he's an expert on statistics, so he has given lots of statistics. In 2023, we had sanctioned 197 projects in 1 year, that is calendar year. In 2024, 259 projects, because we had an ambitious plan. And in 2025, we plan to go up, touch 300, and I'm very happy to say that UP RERA has sanctioned, rather we have given RERA registration to 308 projects. And let me tell you, now promoters from South India, from Maharashtra, from Karnataka, and all the big national companies, you name it, they are now in Uttar Pradesh. Now, what is the spin-offs of this? The number of units which have been constructed, in 2023 it was around 25,500 units. In 2024 it was 69,500 units to 70,000. This year it is 85,000 in 2025. Mr. Gaur from the Gaur Sons, a leading promoter from UP and NCR, is here. Which means from last year there is a excess of 15,625 units, which is around 23% more than last year. That's what UP RERA is trying to achieve. We give RERA sanction from 4 days to a maximum of 30 days, because we are mandated under the law to give RERA sanctions, RERA registration number within 30 days. And that we are trying to achieve. The smallest is 4 days. If you fill the form correctly on the RERA portal, you will get it in 4 to 5 days. The other important factor is the investment, where we talk of the growth in GDP. In 2023, it was 29,000 crore of investment in real estate sector, which is basically by the promoters, which increased in 2024 to 45,000 crores, and this year it has increased to 69,000 crores. So that's a big, and most interestingly, people generally think that it's only the NCR area which is picking up. Let me tell you, we had 260 projects in NCR, especially in Gautam Buddha Nagar, and around the same 259 in Lucknow district, which is the state capital. Now let me tell you that it is not only Lucknow or Ghaziabad or Gautam Buddha Nagar. Now it is Agra, Bareilly, Muradabad, Varanasi, Ayodhya, Prayagraj, Jhansi, Kanpur Nagar, Aligarh, Gorakhpur, Azamgarh, Devi Patan and Mirzapur. As far as Mirzapur and as far as Chitrakoot, there are projects which are coming up in big number and in real big number. The most costliest property, I'll tell you, is not in Noida. You'll be surprised. It is 1 lakh rupees square feet in Ayodhya. It's in Ayodhya. So, with these figures, I would just say on 6 points, which is very important for this conference, and all of you have come in such adverse weather with not so good AQI and joined here at 10 o'clock. The role and contribution of RERAs in general and UP RERA, the role and contribution of Government of Uttar Pradesh in developing the real estate sector, the developers' confidence and conducive ecosystem, because we are working in an economic environment, we are working in a commercial sphere. So we have to take care of and work with that spirit of economics and commerce, keeping in mind at the back of our mind. Then the consumer trust and consumer rights protection, for which this act was promulgated and it came into being on 1st of May 2016 and effective rollout from 1st of May 2017. The role of financial institutions. One of our speakers had said that financial institutions we need, because without investments, real estate will not come, housing stock or commercial stocks would not come, and if that do not come, then from where do we provide affordable housing or all types of housing, EWS to super deluxe and super luxurious housing? Then the negative factors and measures to surmount this, because there is IBC, there is a lot of misuse of the loopholes in law and things like that. See, RERA, any RERA for that matter, because the act is of Parliament. So as far as the act is concerned, in the whole country, the same law is there. But the act provides that the state governments will make rules. So UP was one of the states which had immediately promulgated the rules of 2016, which governs the Real Estate and Development and Promotion Act. And we had also a rule of 2018, which is for the builder-buyer agreement, so that there is no dispute or minimal disputes between the promoter and the buyer. I would be very happy when I step down from the post of Chairman RERA, the case comes to zero. Litigation comes to zero. Because we have 3 roles under the Act. One has 2 components, 1A and 1B. 1A is to get investment, which promoters and financial institutions would bring in. B, which would follow from these investment, is the housing stock or commercial units, shopping areas. As my learned friend was saying that everyone is talking of digital, but malls are equally flooded with footsteps, right? So there are lots of footsteps being noted in all the malls. And other commercial properties which the general public would like to buy, whether it's a shopping area, whether it's a villa or whatever, or a penthouse or a house or an EWS or an MIG or a super deluxe. So we have to give registration as soon as possible. See, in economics and commercial area, we do understand, and I've been working in housing sector since 2000, so I have a long experience. UP was the first to have the most modern building bylaws and building regulations and zoning regulation, and the Apartment Ownership Act. So that all was drafted by me between 2000 to 2005. So I am aware of it. Every day of delay counts in a economic project, whether it is of any sector, whether it is real estate, construction, it is automobile, every day counts, because the moment you take loan from the financial institution, your meter of interest runs, and that's compound interest. So we have to be very quick in getting all the sanctions. Now, Honorable Chief Minister monitors and ensures we have OB Pass, a software where you digitally put your map. In UP, you don't have to submit manual maps in any authorities, whether it is the general authority like Lucknow Development Authority or the Ghaziabad Development Authority, or the industrial development authorities like the Noida, Greater Noida or Yamuna. It's all through that. And the system automatically checks it, does through computing power, whether it is as per the bylaw. It then gives you the queries, and immediately you resolve it, and your map is sanctioned on payment of certain fees. So on the development authority side also, we have to be fast, so that when an investor comes, he should get a map sanctioned quickly, because only RERA comes into picture after the promoter gets a map sanctioned from the competent development authority. We have no role, we can't step into till you bring a sanctioned map from the competent authority. Earlier they were not giving completion certificate and OCs. Now we have made them mandatory to give timely OCs and CC, completion certificate, so that the project can be closed in time, the houses can be delivered or the units can be delivered, commercial, whatever type it is, to the home buyer or to the purchaser in the shortest possible time. All this would lead to no excess payment by the promoter in terms of delay interest or compensation, because that is adding to the project, which generally we envisage, but hardly few percent. But if the incidental expenses of compensation awarded by the courts or delay interest goes to 15 to 20%, it would somewhere compromise the financial integrity of the project. So that is what we have to see, and that is what we are seeing. In the second role which we have to play is to ensure that if there is a dispute, the dispute between the promoter, the agent or the home buyer, because these are the three stakeholders: promoter, home buyers and the agents. So if there is a dispute, to resolve that dispute. And our third role as per the Act is to do advocacy, to teach the promoter what they should do, what they should not do, how quickly, how they should fill up the forms or go on the portal and apply for RERA registration. Similarly, to educate the home buyers what they should see, what they should not see, and the agents. Let me tell you, UP RERA has started an agent training certification program. We don't make agents to anyone who just applies. He has to undergo a 4-day rigorous training. Promoters from UP, they know. 4 days of rigorous training, then he has to sit for a 1.5 hours exam. The papers are set under my supervision, exams are conducted, and if they clear, then they are certified, and then only they are given RERA registration, in which they are also taught soft skills. Because now there are single mothers, there are ladies who are customers. Even if it's a male customer, we also train them soft skills. They can't enter into their house smoking a cigar or cigarette or chewing pan parag and stuff like that, or in a t-shirt and things like that. So we are giving them on a whole, not only on the legal aspect but also on the soft skills. Then the role of and contribution of the government of Uttar Pradesh. Government of Uttar Pradesh is constantly upgrading its policies. The latest being the Township Policy of 2023-24, which is giving a lot of flexibility. If you acquire a land or some land, because when you acquire a big chunk of land, 500 acres, 100 acres, because the difference between UP projects and say Maharashtra, which is one of our, in a way, similarly scaled RERA, their average project size is 50 to 100. UP's average project size is 310 units. Our project unit size is 2,000 flats, 3,000 flats, 10,000 flats. So, therefore, when you acquire a big chunk of land, there would be some land which would be of the community, which we call Gaon Sabha, or of the village community. So, earlier it used to take years to get it changed and converted into a commercial or for a township purpose. Now it's a matter of weeks. The government has delegated all its powers to the district collector and the divisional commissioner. So the Honorable Chief Minister, we have increased our FSI in South, we call, in UP we call, North India we call FAR, floor area ratio or floor space index. All that has been relaxed. A lot of new technology is being made mandatory. Now, when our promoters, they put ads, post-RERA, fly-by-night operators have run away. We have no fly-by-night operators, I can assure, from the year 2022. They could do it only when there was auto registration in 2017 July. After 2022-23, there is no fly-by-night operator in UP RERA. That I can assure with all humility and confidence from this dais. And the government is coming up with all, they are taking all steps to ensure ease of doing business. Promoters now know that how quickly things are happening. But there is I would admit, there is a lot to be done by the development authorities and UP RERA. We have the RERA portal. Our office is paperless. It's all digital. From 1.0, we are going to 2.0, where AI is being embedded, built into it, chatbot would be there, and it would be 10 times or 20 times more sophisticated than what it is today, 1.0. So all that we are trying to do, and the government of UP is trying to do, and we are quite sure that very soon, with the help of real estate sector, UP would be achieving. You must be reading what all things our Honorable CM is doing, so I need not have to repeat, but for paucity of time. Then the developers' confidence and the conducive ecosystem. I have told you the numbers speak. 308 projects in one calendar year, where the average project size is 310 units. You can multiply. Today in Uttar Pradesh, 210,000 plus units are available for the home buyers to purchase. We are trying to ensure that the demand and supply is not skewed. Because if the demand is more, all of you are expert in economics, I need not have to teach you or tell you anything. The demand and supply has to have some equilibrium. If the demand is more, supply is less, you know what will happen. I agree. You have been modest. The real estate cost in NCR, especially in Noida, Greater Noida and Gurgaon, is much more than what you have suggested. It is much more higher. A crore unit is now 2.5 crore unit, a flat, which is very expensive. Now, people come and tell me, the government is asking me, how can a home buyer buy? Where is the concept of affordable housing? Because when it was decided, the affordable housing by the GST Council, it was 45 lakhs. So even if I do the escalation in an economic sense, it would be somewhere around 75 lakhs today, because this was done in 2019. So it should be around 45 lakhs to 90 lakhs. But it is 2.5 crores. So, or a 50 lakh flat would be around more than 1.25 crore. So we have to work on it, because only super deluxe, super luxury townships will not work. Then forcefully you will have slums, because all of us have got adapted to domestic helps, drivers. There are many professionals we need, staff we need for running our business, for running our household. So we also have to think, if you don't expect that your domestic staff will come from Gurgaon and you stay at Noida. It's not possible. He has to be around that. So we also have to work, which is government's main thought process and concern and worry, is EWS and LIG. Because ultimately we have to settle them also. I have given the figures. I need not have to say again. We are upgrading to 2.0. Another 6 months. It got delayed because we thought we may, instead of taking a jump from 1.0 to 2.0, we can try to develop 1.0 into 2.0, but migrating was becoming very difficult. So that delayed by 6 months, because then we thought, no, it's not possible, because the architecture, IT architecture and frameworks and technologies have totally changed. So it's not possible. Then consumer trust and consumer protection. See, this act is to ensure an unorganized home buyers. So it is tilted few degrees in favor of the home buyer. And rightly so, because a promoter has a battery of lawyers. A consumer, I can tell you, they are so helpless, so helpless. I was Additional Chief Secretary, Sugar Industry and Cane Development. So every year we had a problem, chronic problem of the sugar millers paying the cane produce price, which the farmer would sell to the sugar mill. For that, the sugar cane farmer would come for 1 year crop price, which would run from 25,000 rupees to 5 lakh rupees. But which I have worked, the Honorable CM was kind enough in both his governments. I was one of the civil servant who was retained in the same department of sugar industry and cane development from 17 to 23, and then excised from 19 to 23 till I demitted that office. Only the farmer would come and cry, sir, for my son's education, my daughter's marriage, my father is suffering from cancer, I want money, my money. So we had a formula of immediately paying 40% of his dues, whatever dues we would pass an order through the district collector. But here the whole family comes to me in my office. The husband, the wife, the children, they come and they cry. When the male member explains his case, the wife starts crying, then the children start crying. So we have to face every day very painful position. So I would request, my friend very nicely, Bakshi Saab said that quality, quantity, we have to ensure, and timely delivery. Time is essence in real estate, whether it is getting the MAP sanctioned, whether it is FRERA registration, or whether timely delivery. Because timely delivery will save you from unnecessary burden of judicial cost and compensation and delay interest. It is in the interest of the industry. That's what I keep telling. And I keep telling my industry friends in Uttar Pradesh, all the promoters, go for a mutual agreement settlement meeting. Because let me tell you from this platform, 98% home buyers don't want a headache. He is working from Noida to Gurgaon. He lives in Noida, Greater Noida, goes to Gurgaon 2.5 hours, car drive or metro drive. He doesn't have time. He goes in the morning, comes back in the evening. He has no time for any litigation. Even if you deliver whatever you've promised, 98% or 95%, I am telling you 98% of home buyers would accept it and thank you. So please do that. That is very, very essential. And one point, when I joined, there were 35 case complaints filed per day. 35 cases filed per day. Today the average is 9.5 cases per day. I want by June 28, it becomes 0 per day. So that's our aim. Now there are some negative and timely issues. One is IBC. Both these acts came together. There was an amendment in 2018 in IBC where home buyers were also made financial creditors. Many promoters and many financial institutions, I don't know why they are taking the promoter before NCLT. Sometimes we know it is also connivance. We are aware of it. We know, let me tell you, I know what is happening in UP. I have my own system. I was Director of Information in 1997-98. I have my own network. By midnight, I come to know everything. Gaur Saab knows that if they put any wrong advertisement, any promoter, they get a call immediately. Whether it is on Instagram or on Twitter or LinkedIn or Facebook. And now, UP RERA had an important, which I am happy that all our promoters are complying, that you have to, earlier under the law, you had to put only the RERA registration number for the consumer to check and the URL of UP RERA. But now we are generating a unique QR code for each project. So they have to put the QR code, the UP RERA registration number, our URL, then they have to put the project launch date and the bank account, which is called the collection account. This is mandatory now in UP. And all of them are following. I am very happy because this is reducing. This 35 to 9.5 is simply because of this. But we have to think, and all of you sitting in this hall, all my dear promoters, apart from the experts on the dais, the investors, members of the press, and the bodies like ICC, FICCI, and everyone, we will have to think. Now, there is a parliamentary committee, a joint parliamentary committee working on IBC. I was summoned for witness. I had been there and I had deposed 3 RERAs were called, Maharashtra, UP, and the I for RERA, we have a federating body also. We were called, we had deposed, and I believe some good amendments would come in IBC so that no financial institution misuses IBC, and that is very, very important. And let me tell you, give one example and I'll stop. I'll not name any companies because this is not good. Just for 83 crores, a company with 10,000 crore property had gone in connivance with the financial institution. I'll not name the financial institution also. That's not good. That's not ethical. Before NCLT, and 20,000 home buyers are in lurch. So my humble request to all the promoters, we will, and I don't want any one of you to come to my office. No, please don't come. People say we want to come physical. I said no. Because the moment you will physically come, complaints would get generated. My people will expect something. I say you will operate through my portal. We do meetings, we do hearings of promoters when we sanction them, when we give them the RERA registration number through VC. They sit in their office, from there they speak, and there we resolve and we grant. Or we tell them, you rectify this much, we do. Similarly, the judicial matters are also through VC. We do. This is the only forum, UP RERA, where both the promoter and the home buyer gets notices through email. They get the web link through email. They get a confirmatory SMS through email that, look, you have a hearing on this. And let me tell you, 30% of my home buyers are contesting their cases from Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Canada, New York, London, US. And one gentleman from Canada, he told me sir, your timings are not good. It is 1:30 in the night and I have to keep myself awake to participate in your hearing. I said, what do you want? Turn me the clock and make all Indians come at 1:30 in the night? He understood. So with this, I would, see, the dialogue has to continue till I'm on this chair. I'll keep my dialogue with all of you. But today, for paucity of time, I'll give a halt here, a comma here, not a full stop. Very, very thanks for patient listening, and thanks for your patience. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir. मतलब 1 लाख रुपए स्क्वायर फुट in Ayodhya. This calls for a round of applause, sir. I think that was my, take of the entire thing. 1 लाख रुपए स्क्वायर फुट is amazing in Ayodhya, sir. And to understand कि नोएडा से ज़्यादा एक्सपेंसिव अयोध्या में है कुछ. सर, मैं एक छोटी सी चीज़ ऐड करना चाहूँगा मिस्टर बख्शी, कि मैं चौथा स्तंभ जो आपने 3 पिलर्स कहे थे, आई वुड लाइक टू पॉसिबली ऐड विद ड्यू दिस थिंग टू यू, कि चौथा स्तंभ जो है वो ब्यूरोक्रेट्स और पॉलिसी मेकर्स लाइक सर, इनोवेटर्स लाइक सर, जो इस चीज़ को एक्चुअली रियलिटी बनाते हैं. रियल एस्टेट को रियलिटी बनाने में ऐसे लोगों का साथ हमें ज़रूर चाहिए, जो आज ना कि सिर्फ ऐसे इनोवेटिव स्टेप्स लेते हैं और साथ में उसके जो सबसे बड़ा एस्पेक्ट, एक रियल एस्टेट चैनल पार्टनर को रिस्पेक्ट दिलाते हैं, उसे ट्रेनिंग दिला के उसके बाद बोलते हैं कि अब आप बेचिए. सो दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच कॉल्स फॉर अ लॉट ऑफ रिस्पेक्ट फॉर यू, सर. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for this wonderful insight that you gave to us about the entire, RERA cycle that you're doing. So, with this, we have, just about concluding the session. Ye wala. So, iske baad, I would like to now invite Mr. Debmal Banerjee, who's the Regional Director for ICC, to propose a word of thanks to us. Sir, please.
Respected Mr. Bhusa Reddy sir, Chairman UP RERA, Dr. Kunal Banerjee, whom I know for more than a decade now, Mr. Puri, Chairman of ANAROC, my colleague Mr. Dheeraj Puri, who had to leave because he has an interview at the British School for his son, so no choice, dignitaries of the dais, His Holiness Prabhu Mohan Rupa Das, my friend Kom Carpentier, Mr. Gaur, and whosoever I could, see here, all protocols observed. See, normally, I get an option to speak points which, other speakers, they don't say. But today is a very unique day where I see that whichever point I was thinking of telling, everyone has already said. So that puts me in a position of fox pass. Nevertheless, I'll elaborate on few points like real estate, very true. Real estate has got a national responsibility if you are part of this sector. When it comes from a person like Mr. Bakshi, that God has given you an opportunity to build the nation and to put roof over some people's head, please don't misuse it. Something coming from a person of this stature who has built the company single-handedly from scratch and come to that level, it should be a lesson for everyone, including and most so for fly-by-night operators, that what hard work can do. Today, do we get allegations against Central Park? We don't get. And it's a national responsibility, it's a moral responsibility. You are playing with people's money. You are being bestowed upon the responsibility so that generations can have a roof over their head. They are protected from rain, sun, wind, and the vagaries of the nature. So I think, this discourse, this is very, very important, apart from these 3 pillars. Mr. Bhusa Reddy, I think you are an amazing speaker as a civil servant. The kind of reforms that you are bringing in Uttar Pradesh at one point of time was a fearful place. Crimes used to be very rampant. I stay in Uttar Pradesh, I stay in Noida. But today, under the leadership of the Honorable Chief Minister, the state has completely transformed. Look at the kind of investments that has come to the state, and the Jewar airport which is coming, which is again, you can say a quasi real estate and infrastructure, is going to transform the state. So if a state is getting transformed in terms of industrial landscape, real estate, which is a contribution to the state domestic product, has to work and has to run in tandem with the development of the state, and real estate as a segment can work and run only if you have effective regulators like Mr. Bhusa Reddy. We are amazed, we are mesmerized with the reforms that you have brought, including training for the real estate agents. I don't think my knowledge is limited. Mr. Puri, they all can say. No other state in the country may be doing this. You are training people not to go and meet people even in t-shirts or chewing a tobacco or a tamak. So this is something you are truly contributing to the reforms, you are truly contributing to provincial building, so that it paves the way for the remaining part of the India to follow your footsteps. And again, minimizing the human contact and doing it online is something which is adopting to the process of digital India, which is again the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister, which is very, very important. In fact, we used to always compliment my friend, KTR, Kalvakuntala Talalakka Rama Rao, KTR, who was the Industry Minister of Telangana, who was the first person to bring blockchain, application of blockchain for digitization of land records. So this is again one area. I don't know other states whether they're following that or not, but Uttar Pradesh, if the entire hearing, entire summons, entire notices are online enabled, it reduces corruption in the system completely. So the builder doesn't have the option to bribe the people in the system, and obviously it increases and it improves the governance standards, and that is what is expected in our public life and in public discourses. So thank you, sir, for all the reforms that you are gifting. And I don't think, in the last 4 or 5 years, except 1 or 2 cases, we have witnessed serious frauds in UP, because all the fly-by-night operators have actually vanished, which is very true. There are still 1 or 2 which are the past cases which are going on and which has brought a bad name. But I remember in 2015, when in the month of December we organized a mass housing summit in Park Hotel in Delhi. Same Indian Chamber of Commerce. And at that time I used to meet many developers, and most of them have vanished today. So that means the reforms are in motion. Dr. Banerjee, you spoke of amazing things like, pension funds and the sovereign funds, like the Qatar investment funds. They all are looking forward to India in terms of deployment and collaboration with the Indian family offices. This is actually making India a global superpower. So Qatar Investments in ICC, we have plans to hold a session where we will invite the real estate community and the session will be interaction with the Qatar Investment Fund. Because the Qatar Investment Fund, sovereign funds, they are actually investing in real estate. We need to access more capital in a compliant FDI way, so that there is no money laundering and the money actually comes, it is used for righteous cause. Nevertheless, everything on the positive side is moving, but yes, mass housing concept which we used to see earlier, etc., is not picking up. The only way the economically weaker sections of the society is getting served is through Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. So real estate is so important that it is part of the national discourse of the central government as well as for state governments. So the chief ministers and the union ministry, they are competing that kiska ghar wo garib ko dilaye. And the states where the central and the state governments are not from the same party, the friction is of a much larger magnitude. The state government will always say that no, this is my scheme. Everyone wants to do good for the poor, and the central government will say no, it's my scheme. I wanted to put the roof over the head. The objective is same. Everyone wants to put the roof over the head of that poor person. But their loggerheads happen if the politically state and the central government is not okay. But the crux of the matter is real estate is part of the national discourse of governance in India. We have a housing ministry. We even at the central level, and the states also have housing departments at the state and the provincial government level. So this is something, this proves that real estate is of immense importance, and they are important when we try to calculate its contribution towards our GDP. So I'm sure, 5 trillion we will easily overcome if more reforms come into the real estate. And in the words of Mr. Bakshi, people have to come with the righteous mind, with the highest form of integrity. I'm really touched by your words, that you need to be accountable to the people of this country, that it is your money, I am custodian of your money, and I am trying to put the roof over your head. Albeit I will make a profit, I am a businessman, but I will not swindle you, I will not cheat you. So this is something every developer should take this pledge. And again, if you are cheating once or twice, there are developers in Gurgaon, I was seeing yesterday in YouTube, procession has been taken against them. And no serious home buyers wants to go there. Because once you lose your reputation in terms of you swindling people's money, the customers and the occupiers will be wary about you. And it's very painful when Mr. Bhusa Reddy says the entire family comes and cries. So, then the human component of the civil servant needs to come out, and, that's something which is not warranted. It has to be impartial, and which he always tries to do via online hearing. I would like to thank Anurag for being the knowledge partner today, and all our sponsors who has graciously supported in executing this program. My compliment goes to my colleague Muskan Verma, who heads our real estate and infrastructure space, for meticulously putting all the strings together in stitching this program, for curating this program, and her team. I would also like to thank each and every officer of Indian Chamber of Commerce who is working in my office for ably assisting and supporting Muskan in implementing today's program, and obviously all of you for coming and attending this program in spite of a poor weather conditions, poor AQI, schools are going online, but still all of you braved and you came for attending this program. The chamber will continue its discourse and will continue working closely with the real estate community, bringing the issues on the table and trying to solve them, putting it forward to the regulators and getting the regulatory perspectives conveyed across to all of you. With this note, I would like to formally propose a formal hearty vote of thanks. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.
Well, thank you very much. Mr. Banerjee, thank you. So, it gives me goosebumps, today, that we're sitting amongst one of the best dioceses that I have come across in real estate till date. We've got, starting from Dr. Banerjee out here, who showed us holographic imagery way back in 2010. And I'm not kidding that. I was part of that team which worked on something as innovative as holographic technology way back in 2010, So something which goes beyond imagination. आज भी करने में हमको बहुत ज़्यादा मेहनत लगती है. उस दिन उन्होंने किया fantastic. Of course, we have, Mr. Bakshi out here, who's given us the most innovative, the best products that Gurgaon has seen. I think one of the most respected gentlemen that I have come across in the real estate fraternity, whether it comes from, आपने जो एक concept निकाला, the room का sir, which we get inspired by day in, day out, or for that matter, जितने आपके बाकी अभी प्रोजेक्ट्स आ रहे हैं which are phenomenally doing well, और जो आपने एक चीज़ कही कि कस्टमर जो गॉड है, हम लोग सच में समझते नहीं है, लेकिन समझना चाहिए, कस्टमर ही आपको अच्छी इंसाइट देता है at the end of the day. Okay. Mr. Puri, data is the new gold or the old gold or the gold always. We've read your reports, we've understood from them, we've understood trends from that, and no denying that आपसे अच्छा numbers जो मैं पहले भी बोल चुका हूँ कोई नहीं जानता, आपसे अच्छा trend कोई नहीं बता सकता, आपसे अच्छी चीजें कोई शायद ही हमें बता पाता है. Of course, then policy makers like Sanjay ji, Mr. Reddy out here, who's done such innovative work, and to ICC, which has done a phenomenal job of getting all these people in this room right now. It's a fantastic job. So, I would like to applaud all of you, along with, the people on the dais out here, that isa opportunity mila. With this, we would like to, possibly just conclude this session and एक छोटा सा felicitate करेंगे हम सारे अपने distinguished guests को. Mr. Banerjee, can you now felicitate our guests out here, starting from Dr. Banerjee, please. We also have a small, thing from NAREP, so can I invite Vipin sir? Vipin Arora ji, please come on the stage, sir. Vipin sir, please. Sir, तालियां बजती रहनी चाहिए, please. तालियां बजती रहनी चाहिए. तालियां बजने से ना दो काम होते हैं. एक, कहीं ना कहीं आपकी नींद खुल जाती है. ठीक है? We've got you out of your beds on a very, very cold day. So, तालियां बजती रहनी चाहिए. Can we have Vipin sir, please? Come, sir. Thank you, Reddy sir. Thank you, ji. Thank you, Mr. Banerjee. We'll have Vipin sir. Give the next one, please. आ जाइए. Can we have Mr. Bakshi, please? Mr. Bakshi, please, sir. Can we have the team from NAREP give the memento and a small token to Mr. Bakshi? Can I now invite Mr. Puri? Mr. Bakshi, please take your seat. यार तालियां थोड़ी जोर से बजा लो प्लीज भाई लोग. Thank you. And of course the man of the hour. Can I now invite can we give a memento as well to Mr. Amarjit Bakshi, please? Sir, Mr. Bakshi, we have a memento for you, sir. Can we have a memento for Mr. Anuj Puri as well? God sir, can you come on the stage to give the memento, please, sir? And of course, Mr. Bhush Reddy, please. Sir, can we have a memento from Mr. Gaurav Jain, please, sir? Gaurav, sir, please, aa jaiye, please. Please join us on the stage to present the memento to sir, please. Sir, ko de dijiye. And of course, last but not the least, somewhat Tom token. And a small token from NAREP, sir. With this, we'd like to conclude the first session for, the morning, and we would like to once again. Of course, Mr. Dev Malya Maraji, for you as well, sir. Please, we have a memento for you as well, sir. Please come, sir. Sir, can we request Dr. Banerjee to please present this to him, please, sir? Bilkul, sir. And can we have one person from NARIP come in again? Yeah. Vipin, sir, please, to Mr. Dev Malya. Can we have a round of applause for the entire ICC team who has, put this all together? Can we now request all the dignitaries on the stage to come up out here for a group photograph, please, along with the team of ICC and NARIP, so whoever is present, please. Can I now request the NARIP team, whosoever is there, part of the NARIP में जो भी है, एक बारी आ जाइए, please नीचे आ जाइए, यहाँ पे I would say, please come out here, all of us, please, यहीं पे आ जाइए सारे के सारे. I know we have a lot of members from NARIP, so please come out here. And since I'm also part of the NARIP Advisory Council, I'll also join in.
Can you all hold your memento? Have you met Mr. Bakshi?